hablas español? Parlez-vous français? 你会说中文吗? If you answered sí, oui, or 会, and you're watching this in English, chances are you belong to the world's bilingual and multilingual majority. And besides having an easier time traveling or watching movies without subtitles, knowing 2 or more languages means that your brain may actually look and work differently than those of your monolingual friends. So, what does it really mean to know a language? Language ability is typically measured in 2 active parts, speaking and writing, and 2 passive parts, listening and reading. While a balanced bilingual has near equal abilities across the board in 2 languages, most bilinguals around the world know and use their languages in varying proportions.
Good morning, I'm Ainhoa.
And I'm Miguel.
And we are talking about bilingual education in Spain.
Bilingual English-Spanish education is one of the most exciting innovations in the current education scene, with over 200,000 young students in Spain studying a bilingual curriculum from the age of 3, either in British Council, project schools, or in regional government versions of the project based on this original model.
Knowledge of a second language is widely believed to be essential for workers to success in an increasingly interconnected business world, and researchers tend to agree. The obligation to improve in terms of second language knowledge is mainly due to the demands in the competitive market in the European Union.
Hello, my name is Patricia.
And I'm Elena.
We would like to introduce some of the advantages and disadvantages that the bilingual program has in our country.
Okay, on the one hand, the bilingual program, it increases opportunities and global mobility for young people, and it also prepares them to succeed in a multicultural society. It encourages teachers and policymakers to innovate, and what is more, it provides adolescents with access to education through collaborative technology, and it inspires them to engage as global citizens. Children who join a bilingual education since they are at school will achieve a high English level, which will provide them an excellent CV and better choices compared to others if we talk about employment. Studies in language development shows that when a child is exposed to a new language, he seems to be more advantaged through life. We also can say that his brain is potentially developed and his possibilities to obtain a good job are higher due to his bilingual capacity. In terms of culture, bilingual child shows a broader worldview based on his knowledge and his way of understanding the environment. If a child can only speak one language, giving him a bilingual education will reinforce their languages and speaking skills. Also, it is said that bilingual education makes children more adaptable in changing environment. The improvements in cognitive and sensory processing can collaborate in better process information environment, and also it makes kids to accommodate new information. Kids are more creative when they learn new languages, and also their perspective varies, transforming it in a global perspective. Furthermore, once a person has opened their mind enough to take a second language, it becomes even easier for them to learn a third and a fourth language. Becoming bilingual increases a person's ability to focus on learning new tasks and also triggers increased concentration. Multitasking also becomes much simpler for those who are bilingual.
On the other hand, we must also attend to these disadvantages. Often see that bilingual education suffers a great deal due to a scarcity of experienced and good quality faculties. Teachers' quality faculties aren't as good as everyone expected to be, and they are not enough experienced. What is more, failure to grasp the second language can dishearten and make the child lose hold of the native language as well. But there are some parents who think that by the bilingual program their kids learn how to pronounce words or their meaning in English, but they don't really learn their meaning in Spanish. and they will not be able to define them in their mother tongue. So by this reason, the bilingual program needs to be supervised and some reforms may be introduced. Another issue which is important is the economic one. Bilingual education is an expensive program that government cannot face, so that's why most of the educational centers that are offering this option are private and not everyone can afford them. To sum up, the advantages of bilingual education outweigh the disadvantages of it, regardless of the facts that it's an expensive medium of education and demands more of qualified teachers.
Now we are going to talk about the different types of bilingual education, programs and methods.
The following list compares the four most common types of bilingual education programs. The first one is transitional. In a transitional bilingual education program, children not fluent in English are taught some subjects in their native language. Other subjects are taught in English.
The second method is the two-way. It employs two teachers in a single classroom. Instruction in the subject is given both in English and another language at the same time. It is believed this type of bilingual education program can be effective in teaching English to non-English speaking students.
Then, immersion refers to a type of bilingual education program wherein non-English speaking students spend their entire day learning subjects taught in English. Teachers may attempt to simplify the language for these students if needed.
And the final one is English as a second language. And this is a bilingual education program that places students in specific classes that teach them to speak and write in English.
Related to the teachers, as we have discussed before, they are an essential part of the bilingual learning process, but there is a drawback according to them. Educators are not well prepared to transmit all their knowledge using a foreign language because this method is a brand new one, and by the time they were preparing themselves to teach, they were not aware of the importance of English. This situation does not have good repercussions for a student, but there is a chance to change it.
With the aim of improving the situation, new generations are being offered a huge range of education programs. Many levels of degrees are available, and the educational experience may be enhanced through practicals, research and teacher exchange programs. These kind of activities are most important ones because students could learn real English from native speakers before starting teaching their Spanish students. To sum up, we would say that the bilingual method is not as effective as everyone was expecting, but there is a high probability of it improving.
Hi there. To conclude with our talk about bilingual education, we would like to expose some interesting resources. The bilingual program has one negative impact in the learning process of subjects that are learned both in English and Spanish by native Spanish students. According to our research that has been done by the UC3M, a Spanish university located in Madrid, students that are being taught using the bilingual method are getting lower marks than those who are not. Nevertheless, in the common subjects of both bilingual and not bilingual, such as Spanish literature and maths, there is no difference at all.
The brain of a bilingual person develops new skills in order to manage the new information, increasing capacity to resolve problems easier. In addition, they get a higher level of focusing due to they have to work with more information, keep the languages away and using them in the better moment. Spain is one of the countries of the European Union with the lowest percentage of persons with more than 25 years that know at least one foreign language. And also another important aspect is that the 40% of Spanish population believes that his level of English is medium, and they only know the basics of communication.
So, while bilingualism may not necessarily make you smarter, it does make your brain more healthy, complex, and actively engaged. And even if you didn't have the good fortune of learning a second language as a child, it's never too late to do yourself a favor and make the linguistic leap from hello to hola, bonjour, or ni haos. Because when it comes to our brains, a little exercise can go a long way.
Thank you for listening us.
I hope you have enjoyed our speech.
See you.
And
See you.
Us.
Hoy voy a hacer un pero digo, porque esta es mi parte. It encourages them, it encourages the teachers. I got that.
See, 2 way. He employs to teach. 2 ways.
Eso es lo de...
Hello, my name is Patricia.
And I'm Elena.
We
Have you ever heard of a wish sandwich?